Hi viewers, welcome to the Inward Talk with Mrs. Farida Tampal from Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWF. Welcome Farida.
Thank you, Pavan.
How are you?
I'm good.
So, I want you to introduce your profile with our viewers.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Farida Tampal, State Director of WWF India, Hyderabad Office. The WWF Office works for both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, and we have large number of conservation and education program that we do all over the state in the field of wildlife conservation, climate change, working with people on campaigns. So this is what keeps me going.
When did you start your career?
It's a long journey. I've been a WWF Nature Club member since 1984, and when I started with the WWF as a Nature Club member, I got introduced to the forests, to birds and butterflies. So, and also coincidentally, right next to my house in Bombay is the Borivali National Park, and maybe that is one of the home grounds for me, where I honed my skills on wildlife, on bird watching, on butterfly watching. So we started as bird watchers, and then this inspired me to take up a career in this field.
What is the recent project in education?
In all over India, as well as from Hyderabad Office for AP and Telangana, we have a program which is where we have 5 pillars of education. One of them is Ek Prithvi, which can translate to one earth, because we only have one earth. So it is a conservation leadership program for students, and our target is mostly government schools and tribal schools in forest areas, also in the city, where we work with along with the government. Again, the education department is, we have a big support here. We sign a MOU with the government education departments, and they give us a few schools with where we pilot this Ek Prithvi project and have 5 subjects in it: food, water, energy, waste and forest and all. And the students understand about these sectors. They get small projects to do. It's a very hands-on kind of project where they're actually learning by doing. It's not book work. It is learning by doing. Go on a short walk to the nearby backyard trail kind of thing. We have another program which is called Eco Trails, where we introduce citizens to nature.
Okay.
So anybody who is interested in nature can sign up for this Eco Trail. We take them for a short walk, and it need not be to be a big forest.
So can anyone
It can
enroll
be
for it?
in a city. Anybody can enroll.
Do you have
So
particular schedules for this?
we have schedules for it. We announce them on our social media page book.
Okay.
WWF India. Every state has a page also. Hyderabad State Office has a page, and we announce it over there. We do a batch size of about 25 to 30 people and take them for a walk in and around the city parks and forest only, so that not everybody has a time to make the journey into a forest. So this is a 3-4 hour walk. We start in the early morning and complete by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and people can just go home and relax, and that introduces people to nature. The other program we have is WWF Volunteers. So anybody who wants to volunteer in WWF projects, they can volunteer in our programs. Sign up on the website. We have a WWF volunteer website also, and you can, there will be projects put up that this is the project going on. We also train volunteers to participate in the annual 4-yearly tiger monitoring that takes place. So WWF trains these volunteers to send them to this monitoring programs. We have another online digital portal which is called oneplanetacademy.org. So here it is a digital platform where students can come onto this platform, interact. They have very interesting activities, lot of training material, wildlife quiz, there are comic strips, there are films. So it's another area that we do a lot of work on.
Can youth choose it as an career opportunity? And,
absolutely.
Do they have enough opportunities?
Absolutely. So today I would say this is the time of green jobs.
Okay.
Because more and more environment degradation happen. We are seeing climate change as a real thing now. For this there are opportunities also. While it is a threat, there are many opportunities. The renewable energy sector is a very big opportunity where people can join in the renewable energy sector. There's so much happening over there in terms of engineers who know how to work on solar. So there are opportunities over there. There are opportunities in wildlife. More and more work is happening, more and more youngsters are joining, and there's so much more to do in this sector before we start losing it also. So definitely there. Then there are opportunities where you do nature journalism. So even a journalism student can become a science writer, like just like a science writer, a nature writer. So there is opportunities there. There are people who take up travel, opening up areas to the larger world, to understand how people live across the world. So even in travel and tourism there is a big opportunity. So if you relate with nature, there are many opportunities in the environment sector which are coming up. Environmental engineers were always there to do impact assessments and things like that, but there are many new sectors which have opened, and I see many young boys and girls becoming nature writers now, and it has become a full-time job for them. They work with many websites who talk about nature, environment, wildlife. So this is becoming a very big open sector.
Is there any
now.
minimum qualification to start this?
I think
career?
More than the minimum qualification is going to be your passion and commitment which is required. It's not.
Do they need any professional skill set?
In certain
What
areas,
do you recommend?
yes. Say if they are going to work on studying wildlife, then they will need some kind of professional career background, maybe in ecology or life sciences or environmental sciences or zoology, botany. But having said that, I have many young boys and girls who interned with me. We offer internships as well, who were just from an engineering background. I know 2 boys who were aeronautical engineers.
Wonderful.
But today they are more known as for their wildlife research than they were known as the engineers. So they have branched off. So this field is a very open field. You may not have the background, but if you have the zeal to learn,
so they can just start this thing with an internship.
Yes, they can start with an internship
to find out if they are passionate about it or not.
Absolutely.
And for how much? What's the duration?
So we offer anything from a 4-week internship to a 6-month internship.
And how do they apply for
and
it?
They can apply online through an internship application form on the WWF India website.
Okay.
And it's downloadable. They can fill up their details, and we have different kinds of internships. Some which are as part of the college norm, which is mandatory to do with an NGO.
Okay.
So many of them apply through the college, where they are getting a college letter, and then they have to write a small para on why they would like to intern with WWF India and submit their CV. There are some who take a break from study because they want to explore maybe newer avenues.
Can they do along with their study?
They can do, but it becomes difficult because we have certain activities we assign them to a project or something. In that case, it becomes difficult for them to. We do have some part-time interns who come in post their college and they come and help and things like that. So there are those way, but most of them are coming off full-time. But 4 weeks is a mandatory internship we have, and for 6 months there are people who are taking maybe a break from their studies, who want to go on for higher studies, want to explore what can happen in this sector. There are few who are working professionals who want to switch to a new career path altogether, because maybe when this happens,
something different,
and explore something different. Some of them, many of them I see are IT professionals who want to branch out into this field. So it is an open area. There is a lot of scope. All is required is definitely a lot of passion and a lot of enthusiasm, because there are many challenges we can face while working with this. Sometimes it is frustrating because you seem to be not getting anywhere, trying to push for good policies, trying to see that how environment and development can go hand in hand, but there is definitely a lot of opportunities.
Okay, so if someone would like to choose it as a career opportunity, they should try with an internship.
They can try with an internship. They can start with an internship to understand whether they are made out for it.
Okay.
And it need not be always wildlife. It can be even environment education. It can be photography. So we have young boys and girls who come to us and they have photography skills. They want to see if they can maybe use this. So there are people who have done masters in ecology, in wildlife, but they have branched off completely into photo documentation, into making wildlife movies. So there are those kind of things. So internship is definitely a very good way to start with in this career sector.
Okay. So is this internship going to happen only in Hyderabad, or you take
It's
them on site?
It's on site. It's on site. It again
So they
depends
travel
on
along with you.
They can travel along with us, and it's offered all over India from all offices in our field
And you
offices as
coordinate
well.
with your other offices and send these interested people
So
to such locations.
if it happens in such a way that sometimes the students from our two states, from AP and Telangana, are studying in colleges in other states. They want to come back during their break period, summer or winter break, stay with their family, at the same time do an internship. So then they would work with my office. Similarly, likewise, anybody who's coming to Andhra Pradesh and Telangana from other states go back to their states. So we kind of connect them to those states and say, okay, you can maybe consider an internship there. We do have some legal students also who come to us who are studying law, and they also come and join our offices to get understanding about environment, because that is also a growing area, environmental law.
Okay.
So they can do it anywhere.
Yeah, I understand. So if I am going to apply for internship, what do you see in me? Like so many people interested might be applying. What do you see in them? How do you choose them?
So what I do is, every person who applies to me, I ask them to write a paragraph on a statement of purpose.
Okay.
Why is it that you choose WWF, and what would you like to do when you come to WWF?
Okay.
So when they write, you can intuitively make out that this person really is keen to understand this as an area. There are times, yes, where people just come for the sake of completing that mandatory internships, and then they just go. Some of them don't shine at all. But I have more than often seen that I have been able to get interns who really believed in this cause. They may not pursue it as a career, some of them, because they are doing an MBA, or they are doing an engineering degree, or they are doing a law degree. But I feel that once they have had a brush with this sector and have interned with us, when they move on to whichever careers they choose, at least they will have that in mind, that they must consider environment also in the development that they are planning to take up. And we have had many people who come back to us, say that, ma'am, I am working in XYZ company, or I am doing this, and how is it that I can bring this environment angle in my company work? How can I get more and more people involved? So we have many people who come back to us like this.
Okay.
So we do have that experience also.
Great. So as a woman, what are the challenges when you work on site? Do you have any challenges on site?
The biggest challenge I face, which I always say, is sanitation. Safe and clean toilets. This is something which I have always been very vocal about, is requirement for more and more clean and safe toilet spaces for women. Because that has become, when you are on travel, that is one of the things which I find is the biggest challenge in my work. And other challenges will be there. Sometimes it would be safety, security, and but I think that this I have felt is the biggest challenge, because most often we do travel in groups, so safety and security wise, personal safety wise, it's not a, and then we try not to take unnecessary risk.
Okay.
Because you also have to understand what are the scenario around you, and you have to be alert, you have to be vigilant all the time, and learn to read people, so that you have to protect yourself. After all, you are responsible for your own safety and security, should not take unnecessary risk. So, and this I think is a challenge everywhere, in every sector, for any working women, the personal safety. But thankfully, I can say that I haven't faced it anywhere as yet. So touch wood, and I'm hoping. I've always come across people who are very positive, who have been very helpful wherever I have been to. But and more women are actually. We have a lot of women wildlife scientists in India, and who are working in many spaces. And I think some of them may have faced challenges in certain states where there is a lot of male dominance. You know, they are not used to having women working and working in these sectors. So those places, yes, but by and large, I have worked only mostly in South India, and I have always received a lot of cooperation from people.
Great. Do you make use of technology as part of this job?
extensively. Technology, because as you will understand, a lot of wildlife monitoring that is happening is technology based. Starting with
is everyone part of this job need to have good knowledge on technology?
Technology in the sense that at least a good use of computers
and the tools,
and the tools, yes. So we have all our right from our accounting to our work is all definitely computer based.
Some beautiful
yes.
butterflies here.
Yes.
Okay.
And even a lot of wildlife monitoring has become very technology based, in terms of starting with the first thing of camera traps, which is used for wildlife censusing, to now drone technology, because every time you have to keep moving with the movement.
Do you make use of drones?
So we are not, we have directly not made a use of it, but there are places where wildlife monitoring is being done by drones. Indian forests are still not so this thing for drone, because drones are good when there is a more like a rolling grassland and open space and things like that.
Okay.
But because we have still more close canopy and all, but camera trapping is definitely a big work that WWF does, and that is where a lot of technology is involved. In fact, that is what I tell engineering interns who come to me. I said, tell me, how will you use your engineering skills to do something for environment, do something for wildlife, innovate, because you are the ones who can think differently. Maybe we have very set pattern, but you are still young, you are creative, and you can use the same technology, the engineering skills that you are learning. What can you do for wildlife? What can you do for environment? And that is how the whole One Planet Academy has come also, is when it is supported by a corporate, which is an IT company. They wanted to use their skills to support environment. So what is it that you can do? So that's how the digital platform was created. That this platform is available world over, anybody can access it, and we have made it a one-stop shop for anything on environment education. So definitely we use a lot of technology in our work.
So what is your message to undergraduates and graduates if they want to choose this as their career?
The message would be that it is a great field to work, and for everybody, and I am especially keen to tell girls that it is a safe career. It is great understanding of nature, wildlife, and there is a lot of scope today.
And even the people in the habitats.
Yes, even lot of forest area also, there are people who are coming out from there also and working in this sector, and it is a good time to get into this kind of jobs. The environment scenario in India is very, very active right now. When we started off, like I started off my first research career in the Madras Crocodile Bank Trust in Mahabalipuram, and when I went back home before joining the job, and I told my parents that I am joining the Madras Crocodile Bank, and also all my relatives, they were all excited, because from our community many people join banks, and they said, oh wow, is it an international bank? And they were all, I said, no, it's not an international bank, it's a trust which does research on reptiles.
Okay.
So it was quite intriguing for them to have something which is called a Madras Crocodile Bank Trust, and it's not a bank which has works with real money, but we work with actually crocodiles and snakes and frogs and turtles and all that. So yes, career wise I think it's a good choice to make. Challenges are there in any career. What can drive you is the landscapes, the people who live in these landscapes. So I think one thing is there, that you should have hard work, sincerity and commitment also, and then the passion, because monies are not very big in this area, so as against a corporate job, but it is comfortable.
Okay.
But you get the satisfaction of contributing to development of the society, development of nature, because after all, when we talk about nature conservation, it is the humans which are going to be dependent on nature. So definitely you are contributing.
Farida, for the insights, and thanks for your time. Viewers, if you like this video, please like it, and please keep watching the videos, subscribe to this video, and if you still have some questions, please comment on it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pavan.